On behalf of Restore Innocence, I have two very, very special people in my presence. And I would like to introduce Annika and her mentor, Diane. And thank you both for being here. We would like to share a little bit more about a very challenging topic, honestly, something that's hard to talk about, but something that I would love to bring more light to for our community, and that's about human trafficking. Where did you begin with having this life of sex trafficking? What happened? Where did it begin?
I think that every victim or survivor of human trafficking has like a backstory before the trafficking begins. And usually that includes some form of abuse at home or something of that nature that got them into the hands of a trafficker who preys on those vulnerabilities. There was a lot of moving around. There was not a lot of watching out for my care. And my last stop was Las Vegas. And it was definitely a survival. I was in survival from 16 to 17, almost 18 years old when I got to my dad's. But Vegas was the hardest. I had spent some nights on the street. I was begging for bus money and for food money sometimes, and it was really relying on random people to try and get my needs met. And the day that I met my trafficker, I was actually planning on leaving to Ohio to move with a friend the next day. That night I went to go visit my dad, and I thought this was going to be the last time in a while. At that point, a car had pulled up when I was coming back up to my aunt and uncle's house to go to sleep that night. And in the car was a young girl and a young guy, and she asked me if I wanted to come party. So that's what caused me to get into the situation of sex trafficking that I was in.
How did you escape?
My trafficker saw that I was going to die. I had gangrene infection, and he let me walk around with it for 2 weeks, and my body deteriorated. And when my body was falling out on the floor, he sold me to another trafficker to try and sell me before I passed away. So he traded me for a car, a Chrysler 300.
Oh my gosh.
And that other trafficker had me for 4 days, and he said I didn't pay for a dead body, you need to come pick her up. And then my trafficker came over, and I convinced him to, instead of taking me to the desert, to take me near the hospital. And I was able to get into the hospital. I was there for 2 weeks, and I was medically evac'd for my safety for another 2 weeks. And I moved back to Colorado because my mom's based in Denver. That's where I was raised. And I came to Colorado Springs to Restore Innocence.
Wow. So right here in Colorado Springs, let's talk about it. And even if you're not in Colorado Springs, people can become involved with Restore Innocence. And Diane, can you share a few ways that people might be able to get involved?
Yeah. There are several ways. I mean, of course, someone could become a mentor, a woman, because it's all females that we work with. So you could go through the training and the process to become a mentor to a young woman. You can donate to the mentor program. A big need is housing, and so right now we're trying to figure out a way that, that can be provided, because I know for Annika that was a big thing, making her feel safe, finding a safe place for her to be. And that was
absolutely,
a big commitment from me to her, was that I promise you will always have a safe place to stay. And that was hard, finding places,
There are so many ways to get involved, and just contact them and become a part of the hope in the story. Just become a part of it, because anything that we do really can make a difference. And let's make this community one that not only has the awareness, but also helps to come alongside with the tools to really show that transformation can happen.